My name is Rudi Putra. I work for the local NGO. Name is Leopard Conservation Forum. This NGO focus for the protection huge of forest, 2.6 million hectare forest left in Aceh province in Sumatra Island, Indonesia. My position right now as the senior advisor, so direct involved to the FKL director to give them the advice for the best how they can protect the user, especially in many aspects like field protection or the engage another parties like the government, donor, and community, including also the very important politician and then government.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's perfect. So there's something before I wanted to ask you before the whole work that you do is to like tell us why do you think people should care about the Sumatran tigers?
So the Sumatran tiger is the top predator in our forest, in many forests, in Sumatra and Asia. So top predator is very important to keep the ecosystem healthy, because if browser grow very fast, then the impact to ecosystem, because they need too much of the food. So that's why to control the population, we need a top predator like a tiger. So this very important position to keep the ecosystem healthy.
And when you keep the ecosystem healthy, humans, I assume they benefit, right?
Of course. If we have the ecosystem healthy and we have the good forest and biodiversity, the impact is directly to the local communities. The first is for water, and the second is for the another aspect, like in many places right now, we lost of the biodiversity, and the impact is to the economic, local economic and global economic. If we lost like bees, that is important to the pollination of the many species of the plant in commercial plant. So that's why everything in our nature is linked, and this is very important to keep them safe and in their roles. It's a species role, and then to keep the ecosystem well and healthy, and will give a direct effect to the communities and the people around the world. So this is not only for the local, I mean, because if we have the very good forest in everywhere in the world, that will give a good fresh air, and fresh air is not only for the local or the people in one country. That is will be spread to another countries and another people in is far from the forest.
So protecting the forest is equals having fresh water, fresh air. So we all breathe, we all drink water. So what you're saying is, if you protect the tiger, you protect yourself, basically. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I was really interested because Stuart told me you are protecting the tiger yourself in the field. So how does that work? What is the work that you do for them? Can you tell us more about it?
We right now manage the biggest team in Indonesia. This is around in one landscape, I mean, the biggest in one landscape. This is more than 350 persons, local, mostly from the local, working for us to patrol and restore the ecosystem, and mostly for the field work to protect this ecosystem. So they're working very hard in the field, destroy the snare, stop the illegal activities like logging, encroachment, or the poaching. And also we restore the forest. We cut down the illegal trees in our forest, and then we restore, we plant, or we planting with the seedling or by the natural regeneration. And another work like working together with the local communities, educate them, and support them for the livelihood. And another important work, like we work with the local communities, how they can increasing their production, not from the forest, but in their land, how they can manage like using the organic fertilizer and organic pesticide to their land.
Well, that's a lot of things. And you said 350 people, 350 people to protect the whole 2.6 hectares, a million hectares of territory where the tiger lives. And do you think you need more people? Do you think it's enough? What more do you need?
So we need, in our calculation, we need around 1,000 people to protect this ecosystem. This is from our NGO, because many places need to increase from the minimum protection to better protection. Right now we have 20 or 33 of the group of the field team that regularly protect and patrol in the specific area. We also has another area need to protect like this system, and also we need like a post for the patrol post, and each post is around the 5 or 10 person working with the local community. So if we have the 1,000 person, that will be increase significantly our effort to protect the lizard ecosystem.
Okay, and you think you will get to that number? I don't know, in 1 year, 2 years, in 6 months, hopefully. Are you increasing your number like fast, or you're staying in the 350, not growing
so
too much?
We start this NGO in 2013, 2012, the end of 2012. This is only 10% of us at that time.
Oh, wow.
So today we have 300 person. Yes, we can recruit another person, but the problem is how we can keep this team stable for the many years. This is problem. No, we cannot only recruit and then leave them after 1 year or 2 year program, because these need a long-term program. And because if we recruit for the short time, maybe the next time after they lost the job, they will become a poacher. This is danger for us. So that's why we have to very carefully recruit the good person and for the long term.
Yeah, I think to understand what you said that sometimes you recruit people and you have to be careful that they can later like leave the program and become poachers. That's what you. Yeah, that happens. Oh wow, that's terrible.
Yeah, this is problem. So that's why we don't want to recruit 1 or 2 year program. This must be for the long term, and that's why we need to secure the funding for them.
Yeah,
this is another important and very hard to keep the program. But luckily we got the support from many donors and keep this program for the long term.
Okay, it sounds really good that there's 350 people working on this. And
this ecosystem very important, and no other option for us except to keep and protect this important forest, or we will lose our life in this area.
I imagine people die protecting the forest and the tigers, right? Like with other poachers, or I don't know what kind of accidents or things you encounter in this job, because you are risking your life to protect the forest, right?
Yeah, in the field, like in the rainforest, sometimes danger, because sometimes we facing with the poacher, and that's why we cannot doing this patrol for only 2%. So that's why we need to 5% minimum to go to the forest. And also there is no vehicle in the forest, so they only walking for the 15 days in the deep of forest, and yeah, sometimes danger. But because this is regular work for almost every day, So every person in our team, for the patrol team, they work for the 15 days per month. So
Wow.
15 days, and then back to the village, they take a rest, and then working with for the intelligence, and then the next month also doing the same thing. But many forests, in many time, forest is beautiful. It's very nice in the forest because
No.
we don't need the money in the forest. We don't need
cell phones or anything like that.
We don't need anything except the food, only food and our health. So that's why you can imagine I was involved in this program for research for the 20 years.
Wow.
In
20 years.
And in our team, some of our field staff working for this job for the 25 years or 30 years, but
Really?
their face is still similar than 30 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah, they don't age. They stay young, really.
Still young and happy, because the happiness, that is very important for our life. So
that's beautiful.
And the face is still strong, and there is no problem in their life. And this is I learned much from them. So that's why we have to fresh our thing, our brain to live is sometimes sleep is simple. But their contribution for the nature is too much, very much, because when they protect the forest, that means they protect not only for the animal or plant, but also contribute for the many people in our world.
So I'm trying to imagine what the work that you do, because you're telling me the job involves going for 15 days into the forest. I imagine you camp. Obviously, you camp there. You are surrounded by nature, by birds, trees, tigers as well. Maybe probably you've seen some. And you guys are like happy doing that, and that's really good that you're happy doing that, and that it benefits you so much. Like nature benefits you. I hope people can appreciate more that nature gives you all of that.
Yeah. So many story in the field that I really love. That you can imagine. This is every month we go to same place. That is beautiful place because we can see the grain of the forest everywhere behind us or surrounding us. And you can imagine every month we stop in the same place for the half hour of 1 hour just to see everywhere there.
Wow.
This is green with the fresh air and the bird singing. Beautiful. And we never bored in that location.
Wow. No cars, no
cars,
no bikes, motorcycles, people screaming.
Yeah, it's beautiful place.
That's really. No, we here in Ecuador we have forests as well. We have the Amazon, the Amazon part of, well, it goes from Venezuela all the way to Brazil as well. But yeah, I've been there, and I think, well, maybe it's not the same, but the feeling that you're describing, like being away from everything and just being surrounded by all of these trees and all of nature, it's really, really, really cool and good for your soul. So I wanted to ask you something about your work, about the activities that you do. Like, what's one of the most dangerous things that have happened to you, like doing these patrols or doing these walks into the forest?
Yeah, many years ago we have a big problem with the logger or the big companies who operate in our forests to cut down logging and other. But yes, some of our team got intimidation from them, or facing the problem. But luckily, in last 5 years, this is the number or threat for us. This is lower, and so we can work with good work, and this is normal work. but only sometimes we still get facing the problem with the person there. It's very important, like support from the government, support from the local communities. We work very close with them, and you can imagine, in few years ago, we cut on the palm oil, the big thousands of hectares of palm oil in the leuser ecosystem.
Mhm.
And yes, the owner is really angry for us in that time. So that's why we cannot directly to cut down, but we discuss with them, and then we got the support from the local government, local police, and then to local communities.
Mhm.
And finally, we can cut down all of the illegal palm without the conflict.
You cut it.
So yes, we cut it.
That's good.
And without any conflict with the owner. So that's why we need to find the way, the
Mhm.
best way to protect this ecosystem.
Now
And
no, keep going. Sorry.
another threat for us, like sometimes our team facing with the wildlife, like elephant,
Oh,
and
elephants.
attack our team.
Really?
And our team got injury.
Oh.
Injury. So this is field problem and difficulties of the field work. Sometimes we have to climbing the rock or the trees and cross the river. And we lost of the 2 of our ranger by the flood in.
They died.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear
They
that.
die in the forest. Yeah, this is the risk because of their work and their contribution for the nature. So, like for us, they are the hero.
Heroes. I'm sorry again to hear for your rangers, your friends probably. They died in protecting nature.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
I wanted to also ask you, because you were mentioning about palm oil right now, and I've like read some in the news, and I've researched some about palm oil, and basically what the news says is that palm oil is terrible for the forests where tigers, elephants, orangutans, and many other thousand species live, because palm oil plantations are taking over a primary forest. So how big is the threat of palm oil, and what are companies doing about it? Because like they say, palm oil is in almost every product you use daily in your house. So how is that being managed in Indonesia?
So the important principle for us, we not against the palm oil. We only against the destroying of the forest. It's not only palm oil. Another like rubber or cocoa or corn. If planted in our forest, that is problem for us. So if the palm oil planted in the legal land outside the forest, that's fine. This is good, because we know the palm oil is the most highest productivity. Productivity of the palm oil is the highest in the world compared with the soya or corn. So and good for the local economy. But we only against the palm oil if planted in the forest. So that's why we protect the area from the illegal activities. It's not only palm oil. So that's why if they're planted in palm oil, then we will fight to reclaim again and restore the forest. Regarding the palm oil, right now, so many initiations from the NGO, even also from the company, to only use responsible palm oil. This is good. We can read and heard about so many the big buyer take us the responsible palm oil as their supply chains, and we can see right now so many of the farmer and the local grower work for the good practice of the palm oil. There is no clearing anymore, no expansion in the forest, and they work they respect with the human right and for the local people also. This is good. So that's why right now we working together with them, and a good important thing. And many years ago, the palm oil sectors against with about the conservation. But right now, in many companies in Indonesia, establishing the conservation inside of their concession.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
good.
why, we can save thousands of forests inside of the concession. So
That's perfect.
and yeah, so important thing, we can work together, and they have stopped the illegal activities, stop the expansion, and manage their palm oil plantation well.
So,
Yeah.
so what we hear in this side of the world about palm oil, so it's changing. It's good that it's changing, but how do I know, like as a consumer, if I consume, I don't know, chocolate or some I don't, soap, shampoo, or all of those things that have palm oil, how do I know if it comes um, from palm oil producers who respect the forests, and it doesn't come from palm oil producers who are destroying forests? How do I know that?
Right now, the producer of our product, they have the supply chains, and we can ask them. And when you public campaign right now, directly to ask the company to only use the
Their products.
responsible palm oil, and many big companies like PepsiCo, Unilever, and another company publish their work, and they say there is no more illegal palm oil for their product. They
Yeah.
are open, no?
And do you have this information where I can like also add to the palm oil information that I'm writing about the responsible producers, the companies who are changing? You have that. You have access to that information that you can send me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be perfect. I want to just talk to a little bit about the poachers, the illegal poaching that happens, because what I've seen is that basically tigers are hunted because for their skin, bones, their teeth as well. Every part is valuable. So how many tigers are being hunted down, and is the population growing or not growing?
So the tiger population under of the threat because of the poaching. So every year we estimate around the 10 or 15 tiger killed by the poacher or by the conflict in around the Leuser ecosystem. But after we increase our protection team in right now everywhere with our team, we can see the number of the threat for the tiger significantly reduced. 5 years ago, in 2016, for the 1 year, and that time this is only operate around the 13 team. 13 team, this is 5 ranger working in the forest. We destroyed 1,090 snare in our forest. And last year, with the 32 teams, we destroy around 220 of the snare.
Oh,
So
that's
number of snare right now going down. This is good for the wildlife because right now, everywhere, we can capture the tiger picture from the camera trap with the 3 baby, 2 baby, and load very fast because tiger like a cat.
Yeah, big cat.
So big cat, and every year they can produce 2 baby or 3 baby. So the number of the population right now increased very well. Number of the poaching reduced significantly, and we optimistic we can save the tiger population.
That's good. That's good news.
And last year, there is only 1 tiger killed by the conflict. So usually every year is many, around 3 or 5 tiger. This is killed by the conflict, not by the poaching, because after they attack the local communities, the next day the local will put the poison and kill the tiger. So, but last year there's only 1 tiger killed by the local, and This is young tiger.
Mhm.
We hope in this year we can reduce. There is no more tiger kill. And the quite important thing, and also last year we rescue and translocation 4 tigers. So this is tiger we need to capture because make a conflict with the local communities. And local communities report to us, and then our team, together with government and another NGO, put this trap and then capture the tiger. And then using the helicopter, we return back to the forest.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and many local people is respect to tiger. In one case in Leuser, that local people report to us this is one tiger snare in their land, in their plantation. It's outside the forest. This is usually for the wild pig because wild pig make a problem also to the local communities. After we rescue this tiger, and the people said, the local communities said, please don't release to anywhere except in our forest. And there we translocate the same location, and we're very happy because the local respect to the tiger.
Good. Wow, that's a good story.
Yeah.
I'm glad for that. In all of the time that you are in the forest, what has been your favorite encounter with wildlife and hopefully with the tiger?
Difficult to counting the tiger because in rainforest, that is much different than savannah or like in Africa because very difficult to see the animal.
Yeah.
Except like a orangutan or bird or macaque. For another animal like a rhino, tiger, elephant, from the sun bears, it's very difficult. We only counting with the footprint or a secondary sign. But because of the technology, like we put the camera trap, we got the many picture of the tiger. We know the trend of this population increase. Yeah, I love it's all of the animal in the forest because that is interesting.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. So sometimes we watch the elephant from the high position, from the tree, climbing the tree, and then we see the elephant there in the open area, or sometimes deer coming to our camp.
Yeah.
And yeah,
that's amazing.
We also manage 2 research stations in the deeper forest, and we can every day walking in the forest with the special track and see the animal there. And this is private forest, but difficult to see the tiger. And also,
I imagine,
the wildlife, like a tiger, they know human very well because of they are very sensitive. And if they know about the human, they will
run.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good for them. That's good for them. What we're doing is we're doing like a campaign of the 20 critically endangered species, a list of 20 species, and one of them is the tiger. And the idea of this campaign is to create awareness. And I wanted to ask you, what message do you have for people all over the world? Because, for example, us in America, in North America, South America, we don't have tigers in the wild. We have jaguars or pumas, but no tigers. Still, I know and I'm convinced that we can help tigers who are in other continents. So what message do you have for people regarding the tiger and the other species?
Protect the wildlife biodiversity. Forest is not only responsible for the people who living around the forest, who are living in the tiger area. So this is all our responsible. The people in the world, it must be responsible for everything in our earth. So that's why we have to contribution to save our earth. Right now, I can guarantee there is no single countries depending their production from only one country. We consume the soya is not from Indonesia. This is from US. from another country.
Mhm.
And also we export so many palm oil to another countries. We are right now link each other. We are close each other. So that's why to keep the ecosystem, protect the forest, protect the animal, wildlife, this is our responsible too. If we don't care about this, we will lose our life because our fresh air is not only the from the one country. This is from another forest, from the another country contribute for our living here. So this is our responsible. And but I'm optimist, still optimist. We can save our earth.
That's good. That's good that you
If-
are positive.
Yeah, if we can work together and restore our
Yeah, that's
our
that's a great message. And for example, I live in Ecuador, right? So right now here is 8:47 p.m. and you are over there. It's 8:47 a.m. It's morning time. So that's how far apart we are in time. We're in the same planet, of course, but still, how can what actions, what do I have to do today to help to help the tiger? What do I have to do now? What can I do now?
many things we can do. We can first, we can ask our producers to only use the responsible product. This is from the good product. It's from the, like an example, from the good palm oil, from the good cocoa, good rubber. This is
paper
first.
as well.
Paper as well, because and the second thing, we have to think about our food. If we consume so many food, that means we will need many sources.
Mhm.
And that's why the nature is limited. No, we cannot expand our agriculture to our forest.
Yeah.
So we can imagine so many food right now is less as the rubbish in the restaurant because we only consume the little than we purchase, and so we have to reduce our consume for our earth. And the third, we have the social media, we can inform to our friend, our colleagues, or to the public how we need our earth healthy, our consume for our food is from the responsible. This is sometimes the people far from the forest didn't care about this because this is the work for the people surrounding the forest or the country with the large forest. But the good thing, so many people right now care and contribute for their funding, their money to the for the nature. Even though this is only $1, but if the thousand or the million people donation for the $1, we collect $1 million of US dollar for the period for the nature.
Hopefully, the awareness campaign we're doing can help out the donations or the money people can give to the work that you're doing over there. Yeah.
This is not only for us. I mean, so because many NGO, many organizations, they work the same thing in many places in the world. So keep their alive, keep their stable the funding. This is very important to continue the conservation.
Great. Well, I wanted to end the conversation with a positive note from you, a hopeful comment about the tiger, an idea or a thought.
I want to say that is we optimists. We can save the Sumatran tiger in the world. And in many years ago, this is tiger almost extinct. And today we can see everywhere is tiger in Leuser. So this is the good achievement because it's a good result how we can protect the tiger because of we work together. It's not only our organization in here. Our organization can do this because of the support from the many people, from the donors, from the people like you to inform so many people around the world how we can work together to save the tiger. to save our forest, to save our earth.
I want to thank you for giving us this interview and telling us about the tiger, which I think is the most, well, it's the most, the people love tigers. It's like the #1 species that people will choose if they want to choose their favorite animal. It would be the tiger. So I think it's important that they know that people are working together to save the tiger, which I think it's great. Thanks again, Rudi, and have a great day, and hopefully we can talk again soon.
Thank you, Francisco, for your work and your support. And yes, I will send some of the material from here to you.
That's great. I would love to see I would love to see the
tiger.
place. Yeah, no, the tiger too, but the place you told me about. You go up and you see everything. That would be really nice to see.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you,
Rudi.
Francisco. Yep.
Have a great day and weekend.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.